Hello, my name is Stephen Hersicorn, and I just wanted to talk about something that I was thinking about earlier. Because it kind of bugs me a little bit. And it's confusing. Why is it that when we talk about albums, the way they sound, why is it that the benchmark for albums that like sound fucking killer, why is that something that is compared with such a wide range? Like, we talk about, like, why hasn't there been albums that just blow everything else out of the fucking water anymore? Like, when I hear stories from older people about how when Van Halen hit the scene, with Van Halen 1, it just blew everybody's fucking minds. I've never had that experience of a new record coming out and it blowing my fucking mind. I've never had an experience like that. And it kind of bugs me that I haven't had that experience. You know, like, I was listening to something about how Dino Cazares from Fear Factory has this new plug-in or whatever. I don't know if it's even new anymore. From Joey Sturgis, Toads. Shit. I've been thinking about that. It's like, he was like, oh, you know, to get those classic tones from Replica. Or not Replica, the album that Replica was on. Demanufacture. That's the one. I'm thinking to myself, why haven't they put out an album since then that has just completely blown the shit out of water, right? Like, why have they not made an album that makes their older shit, like Demanufacture, look like an absolute fucking joke? Because by all merits, they should have. Shit like that, I think about it and I'm like, you know, there's no progress here, you know? A lot of people will talk about how, oh, I play progressive metal or I listen to progressive music. But do you really? Where's the progress? Like, what are you progressing towards? Are you progressing towards sounding exactly the fucking same as the older prog bands like Dream Theater or Rush or whatever? Like, are you progressing towards that? Because that's not a very, you know, that's not a very progress-filled goal. I mean, yeah, John Petrucci is an outstanding fucking guitar player, better than a lot of the fucking baddest bitches on the planet. You know, he's a really badass guitar player. But I don't know, it boggles my mind that people use the moniker of progressive music, but it doesn't seem like they're progressing towards anything. Like, even the term itself implies that you're moving towards something new. And I don't see that. Now, there are bands that are like, they are kind of changing their shit around. Like, some of the shit I've heard off the new Periphery record, I haven't listened to the whole thing yet. I like Periphery. I like to meme on them a lot because I think they mix their albums like dog shit. But I like to meme on them a lot, but I like them as a band, right? I like their songs. I mean, they're sophisticated and shit, right? Like, when Periphery 3 hit the scene back in like 2016, I was eating that shit up. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, bro, when I heard Absalom come on, when I heard Prayer Position come on, when I heard Flatline, when I heard fucking Marigold, all that shit, I'm like, ooh, this joint sound clean, you know? But, and then they put out Hail Stand, which is like, alright, it's decent. It's alright. And then I thought about it, I'm like, why do I feel that way? Why do I feel that way? That I'm like, why? And I was so blown away by fucking Periphery 3 that why don't I feel that way about Periphery 4? I can't say about Periphery 5 because I haven't listened to the whole album yet. I'll have to give that a listen. I'll probably do that later while I'm working out. Because I don't know, there's modern metal bands that I like, but a lot of them kind of just seem like they've fallen off for me. Like it's almost as if they're scared to do something different. And they'll say, oh, we're doing something unique in our own, but a lot of the times that talk is cheap and they're not doing anything fucking new. Or if they are, it'll be like one new fucking thing that's a ripoff of something that's old, but the way they spin it might sound a hair individual. But there's not enough personality, I think, in it anymore. Like a lot of... I've noticed this, that a lot of what I can see is like... I remember, because I listened to a lot of live performances, like live videos and shit like that of bands playing. And when early Metallica would play live, you would hear James say, hey, here's some new shit from our next album. Like when they were playing the songs off Kill 'Em All, they would play a couple of songs off Ride the Lightning here and there before Ride the Lightning came out. Or like Carcass, before they put out Heartwork, which is one of the most badass metal albums of the 1990s. That just set a new fucking benchmark. They played the entire album on tour before they recorded the album. A lot of these bands that are coming out today, and I was just talking about Periphery, they didn't beta test their album on live audiences before they put it out. And I think that is something that is critical. And I think that's part of the reason why people haven't been so blown away with a lot of modern metal bands, is they write shit and record it, but they haven't played it out live enough to beta test. Like I hear a lot of bands that they would talk about, oh, when we were writing this and we started playing it live, I would see that, oh, the audience gets a little antsy at this part if I play this a certain way, and it gets them excited if I do this a certain way. And I made a realization, it's like, I knew what it was, but I didn't know how to put it into English, right? You write for the crowd. You write for the audience. You write for the crowd. Like, you make it satisfying, but you tweak it. You make it satisfying for yourself, but then you tweak it and use the crowd as feedback, because they're the ones that are coming to see your shows and coming to pay your fucking bills. You know, that's, I think, why people don't buy albums, not only because streaming is free and it's so much easier than going out and buying an album, but why would they buy your album when their input when writing the songs is not taken into consideration? And, you know, it's like you used to hear Metallica talking about how, oh, we base ourselves off of crowd reactions. That's why people like Marilyn Manson were so popular, because he was working the crowd. That's why comedians are popular. They work the crowd. That's why modern metal isn't popular, because they don't work the crowd enough. And this realization has just occurred to me. And you write to manipulate the audience in a way such that they do what you want them to do by you responding to their feedback. And I was talking to somebody the other day on Instagram. I was looking to see, because I'm always looking for people to jam with. And this kid had never heard the idea of working the crowd. I'm thinking to myself, that's what's wrong with it. Because he said he had some songs written. I'm like, that's what's wrong with modern metal. They don't beta test on the crowd. They write the shit and then they tour it. No. Or, excuse me, they release the album and then they expose a crowd to it. And that's so backwards. You expose a crowd to it and then you tweak it until it gets the appropriate crowd reaction. That is how you make a masterpiece album, like Heartwork, like Ride the Lightning, like Master of Puppets, like, you know, so many fucking different albums. Yeah. Anyway. Alright, I'm done talking your ear off, so yeah. Let me know what you think in the comment section. God bless you. I love you. America, fuck yeah.